For this project, it's going to be you can use it as a wreath to hang a really pretty, colourful, festive wreath, or you can have it as a versatile thing. I'm going to try and make it into a hanging party chandelier as well. See how that goes, that would be intriguing. So 2 uses I'm hoping to get out of it. You can use one or the other. Hence, the things you'll need: newspaper, which you will paint, which I've got here. I like it because it doesn't matter about the newsprint, it just, because with me it's about recycling, and I've got tons of newspapers, and I like the thickness of the paper for leaves, and I don't have any tissue paper, which I'm not worried about, so I've painted all these bits of newspaper. It's a good day if you've got a dry day and just hang out on the line, to use as paper. And you can also use it for collages and things, which is really good. It doesn't matter about the print, makes it a bit more interesting. So all different variety of colours of newspaper I've cut out to use and painted. I just painted that with washy acrylics. You can use poster paint, just normal paint, household paints, anything really that you've got handy that's of use or you've got left. I've actually got a floristry wreath, which I had when I had a Christmas decoration to use, which is better for the chandelier. But to be honest, if you haven't got one, you know, that you've recycled from, you know, an old Christmas decoration, just use an old wire metal coat hanger if you've got one, or a wooden hoop, or anything, you know, willow hoop, anything. You can just, as long as it's a circle and you can stick on it. I don't know what size this, you can see it's quite a decent size of my hand measurements there. Sellotape, bit of glue, scissors. I've got a bit of ribbon if you're going to hang it up. I've got some fairy lights if we're going to make it into a chandelier. They're a bit bright, those ones. I like the warmer lights, but I can't find my little warmer lights. You know, the small ones, the battery. It's because you can hide it in this. That's why it's better if you've got the floristry one for the chandelier one, because you can hide it actually tape it in there and hide it. It's not so good with a single thing. Bit of wire if you're going to hang it as a chandelier. As I said, you don't need that if you're not going to hang it as a chandelier, or you can use some string. It doesn't really matter. I've got tin foil which I lay out to paint or greaseproof paper or anything that's not, that things don't stick to. So when you paint your you know, your newspaper, it's just a little tip, it doesn't stick so much. And move it when because it gets soaking, just move it when you've painted it a few times so it doesn't totally stick. It doesn't matter if it sticks a bit, but anything that doesn't get too sticky on it's quite messy. Yeah, so that's it basically. So I'm going to get going and have a little go and experiment. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along again. I also started making some flowers out of newspapers. You can see they turn out fine. We painted them, but I'll show you how to make those in a minute. Okay, and I'm going to have to make lots of them. So I'll get on with that. Right, first I'm going to do the first flower to show you, and people probably think, well, you know, the paper mache flowers we did, I could use those. Why couldn't I have done those with the mirror? I wouldn't do these with the mirror, because the ones that we did with paper mache are stiffer and a bit, you know, a bit better for doing a mirror with, because they're, you know, better to preserve, what do you call it? They're just stiffer, so they're better on a mirror, you know. But with these, for wreaths and things like that, and party things, and you can do garlands, whatever, these are much better. So as you can see, that's a little light, it's really bad, I don't know if you can see that. The little newspaper, as you can see, it's a newspaper print, but it doesn't matter, it's just fun thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I've cut out 5 of these petals, quite juicy juicy shapes, as you can see, and I'm going to fold like that. You just bend it. It's just a little bit fiddly. So the wind's blowing through my door. It's just a little bit fiddly, and I just do it like that. So you've got a petal and you sort of pinched it. So I'm going to do all of those, pinch them together, and then I flatten with my thumb like that. You can see. And I'll do it again. And then what I do is I just get a whole load of these made up. And then you can do the middles when you've finished, is an easier way to do it. Just get the flower shapes made first of all, like that. Oh, it doesn't matter if you rip them a bit. Yeah. Oh, and I've got some bits of sellotape I've cut. It's best to do, and I put it on my wrist like that, it's best to do a couple joined together at first. This is your tape. So you've got 2 like that, see? And I've got them together. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape. I've got a bit of thicker tape actually, but it doesn't matter. Like that round. I'll cut a bit of that off. I've Gone a bit mad with the tape there. So you've got the first sort of petals joined together, and then I'm going to get the other. I'm just going to stick 3. It's probably best if you do 2, but because we've got 5 here, I'm going to stick the. I'm trying to do it quickly to show you. I don't want to take up too much time because these videos get too long otherwise. So I've got them 3 of them like that together. Hold on. See? The light's bad. So in there again, I'm going to put tape, stick those together. Again with a bit of tape around them. And then I'm going to join them together. Like that. See? And then I just tape that excess tape that I've got around, stick them all together. And then you just fiddle around with it. Oh, I've ripped that a bit, but it doesn't matter. And then you've got your flower. So I put that to the side normally and do a whole load of them. But for the middle bit, you know, like that little black bit there, you know the black newsprint you get on a piece of paper, you know, it's quite black, some of the newspapers. I haven't painted these ones. I'm just going to damp it a little bit. It's better when it's a bit damp. And just screw it up into a little ball like that. And let those dry. Do a whole load of them. Let them dry. And then what you do is when that's dried, you just put a bit of glue in there. And you just, sorry, it's not, it'll roll it up better than that. Stick it down and that's your middle. And that's, as you can see there. So, let's do the next flower. For the rose, I'm going to start cutting out a bit of paper. I started sort of go curvy, little slant. And as you go along, it gets a bit higher and higher, the slant. This is the centre of your rose. That's the centre. And this is, I'm not going to make it too big. Like that. Okay. And then what you're going to do, I'm going to try and trim that up so it curves a bit there. It's just a matter of squashing it and rolling it round. You just play with it. I've ripped that a bit. Oh, I should trim. You can trim those bits, and you can trim it as you go along. And you just roll it in to a shape. And this is the centre of your rose. I haven't done this very well because I'm trying to face the camera and do it at the same time. You can take more time doing it. So that's sort of the centre, or you can just do single buds like that. That's the centre. And I'm just going to tape that with a bit of, sorry, I've got tape stuck on the side here. I'm going to tape that, like that, tape it down. Oop. So you've got the centre of your rose and it's stuck to my finger. This is the realistic thing. Doesn't matter, it's a bit messy. So you've done that. So that's your centre. Now we're going to do the petals. What I'm going to do with the petals, I'm calling the petals. See how I'm cutting them? Instead of doing that simple shape we did with the red poppy flowers, I'm doing a little sort of jagged edge when I cut it, can you see? And I'm doing quite fat, stumpy petals like that. Didn't do it on those ones, so I'm just doing that. And I probably cut about, I don't know, it depends, 6 or 8, how big your flower is. So I'll carry on doing that and come back to it. And I did exactly the same as I did with the other petals. I've sort of pinched them like that. And it's quite nice actually because some of the paint from the red paint went on the tip. So you could paint the tips, which I haven't done, but I'm thinking of it now, I should have done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them together like I did before with the same thing. And just stick the flowers all on like we did with the other thing, but going around. We'll come back to that when it's finished. Building it up, and what you do is you sort of holding it there, building it up with the other ones, coming around like it's a bit fiddly, but it doesn't matter, and coming around. I need to do some more petals there, but you can see the gist of what I'm doing. Okay, oh, it looks a bit different at that angle, so I'm going to put some more petals there as well. I think I need to do, and that's how you do your rose. So your roses sort of end up looking like that. Anyway, do a whole load of them. It's just a bit fiddly, but you know, you'll get used to it the better. The more you do it, the more practice, and they end up sort of looking like that. And I've done them, you can do them in different colours. So right, next up is, and you do the same thing for these little blue flowers but smaller petals, and I've just done 3 petals with the blue painted ones, and I painted a bit of white, yellow I've got a yellow newspaper I printed, and I've done the same thing, wet it and made all these little tiny centres which I stick on at the end. So we're going to do the leaves, these leaves next. I'm going to show you how to do these next, okay? And for other leaves we just cut out simple big chunks like that. So we do the leaves next. So with the leaves, I've got a strip I've cut out like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it like that, and I'm going to twist it. Just go around twisting it and carry on twisting, so you get your stalk bits. See, so you start just going all the way down and twisting. You just have to fiddle with it. It doesn't matter if it snaps a bit, because you just twist him. And sometimes it's good to roll it in a little bit of tiny bit of glue at the end bits, and that sort of keeps it. And I run it over my fingers afterwards, and it sort of shapes it a bit more. So that's making your stalk, and it's good because they bend as well when you've done them, so you can sort of arrange them to bend in your thing. So what I might do then is I would get a little bit of glue on my finger, like, oh, if it comes out like that, and I'll just sort of roll it so it twists a bit more, see, and it just sticks it, makes it a bit better to get it finer. I mean, you can twist it better than this. I have been doing it better than this. It's just because I'm trying to do this quickly. And then, so you've got your stalk. I would do it a bit neater than that, but that's fine. And then I've got a piece of paper I've cut out like that. I folded it in half, and I'm just going to cut out leaf shapes like that. And what you end up with is your leaves like that. And then what you do, you get a dab of glue on the back, and you stick, oh God, it's all stuck to my fingers now. Just stick it on there, and see, now you've got your leaves. And then I'll do a top leaf for that. So I'll just do a little leaf for the top of it. Okay. Little top bit, little bit of glue, stick that on. Now that will dry. Trouble is, it's stuck to my finger now because I didn't wash my fingers before I started, because I just done the stalk and it's all sticky, so it wants to stick to me. So anyway, I'll stick it down a bit better. So you go all the way down with your leaf shapes like I've just shown you, and you end up with a stalk like that. And when it's dry, it's good because it can bend, and you can arrange it anyway. So that's the way to do your leaves. And I meant to say, just space them out. Obviously you do one on top of each other. It's a bit like the ones I sew in my paintings or paint, this shaped leaf. So there we go. You can do the bigger, smaller, narrower, whatever you want to do, different types of shaped leaves. But that's how I do my stalk. And I leave a stalk at the end, so it's good for gluing down, sticking down and bending. So that's that. All my flowers are made. I've got them all made, all sitting, all the little flowers. They're all on the side, and the leaves. And with the ring, what I've done is I've stuck out circular bit of newspaper, large piece of newspaper, and I'm now taping it around. And I just go around. Oh, sorry about that. And I go round and around and wrap the tape around it, so it just gives us a base to hang. It's almost like if you know floristry, it's a bit like your moss. And what I'll do is then I'm going to paint that green. Okay, I'm going to come back to them. They're sticking down. So as you can see there, I painted the ring with a newspaper and the what do you call it? Sellotape. I can't get my words out. And what I'm going to do is I've got a little hole at the top there, so I'm going to thread a ribbon. This is for your wreath. It's a bit thick actually, this ribbon. And what I will do is, hold on, have I got this right? If I can get it through. You just pull it through like that. I knotted it together, and it's best to put this on first before you do your sticking down. See, so you've got your little bit of ribbon to hang it. So I think I've got that there. Let's tighten that up a bit. And to the next bit is sticking down. So I'm going to start with some greenery first, and I'm going to do a time lapse. So I will start basically probably sticking some leaves down in different places, and then I'll do some flowers intermittently. So like you have some of them sort of coming overlapping, hanging down a bit, with your bits of greenery there, and you can bend them. So basically just placing your flowers, a bit like when we did the mirror, you know, the paper mache flowers, but this is obviously not the paper mache flowers. Right, let's see how it looks. I've done very bold, bright colours, which is me all over. You can do obviously beautiful, subtle colours, any colours you want. I just did the very bold. So I'm going to stick them down and do a time lapse, and let's see how it looks. Just a quick note, also I'm going to trim the, you know, you can wire them if you wanted to, you know, you could wire them and then do that, but I'm going to cut the bottoms, you know, you've got the little stubbles like that, so it's easy to stick down like that, and then when you place them it's just easy to stick. Okay, I'll get going. So we've got the so I stuck it all down, and basically I could have probably cut a few more leaves out to hold the hide a bit more of the wire, but it's okay, it's fine. I just recommend that you do quite a few leaves, to be honest, and it doesn't matter if some of them are sporadic. And I'm just going to let that dry a bit, and then I will hang it up and show you. So there's the finished wreath. It's up on my, I put it on my mirror. I tend to put my wreaths on my mirrors. And excuse the noise, it's my daughter in a film on in the background. This is real life. Yeah, I would have put more leaves on another time. I'm going to stick some more leaves and things on. You can put as many flowers you want, do different colours that you want. You can do them more subtle, and you can even do it for Christmas, but you can do them lovely for weddings and parties. You do a load hanging up, and they last forever. Well, last as long as you don't sort of, you know, burn them or whatever. But anyway, have a go. Just a bit, you know, just you've got time to do it, have a go and make something pretty with rubbish again. So enjoy.